Good morning, Daniel. You're muted.
Oh.
There you are. You're unmuted.
Oh,
Hi.
good.
Good morning.
I had a unwelcome reboot while I was starting here, and so it's did its thing. Okay, good.
Morning, Cheryl.
Good morning. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
Excellent. Ha,
Good.
ha. Look at
Good.
you.
Daniel's treating you okay? He's taking good care of you?
I didn't hear any of that.
I say Daniel's treating you okay? He's taking good care of you?
Oh gosh, every day.
That's what I want to hear.
John, you look really good. You look well. Your skin.
I'm doing well. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good to hear. I'm glad you're here today. This is an important message.
Good.
Mac has to say.
Yeah, I feel like lots of things are in flux and needing a reboot or reset or reconsideration or a new point of view or whatever. So
yeah, that's one of the reasons why I trust your TRing. We seem to be on the same wavelength, which is just and that's max wavelength.
yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yes.
We it's important, as you know, that we TRs are able to discern our fellow TRs.
Yes, yes.
Won't say anything more about it.
I think it'd be wonderful at one point to have some of these community TRs have their own chance to get together and talk about the process of TRing, talk about how they get to where they are, and also to have the same question asked and have 4 or 5 TRs answer it, and then see how it comes out. Because I think it develops people's sense of discernment. To see how that works. But that'd be a fun game.
That's a huge word, discernment.
It's very huge.
I'll change my camera location here. Oops. You come over to the side here. Let's see here. Hang on.
There you go.
You there?
Does that work for you?
Yeah, that works for me.
Yeah, that works. That's good.
Yeah. All right. It's I know. It's fuzzy because I made it that way. I can control my camera with a lot of parameters. So you still have pretty handsome skin, but when a man gets older, old man's skin doesn't look so handsome.
Old's a relative term nowadays.
It is, yeah.
Right. That's what we just say getting older.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all an attitude, and so
Yeah, it's really a mindset, but sometimes your body does intervene and correct your mindset.
Yes.
I still think I'm 25 in my mind and go out and work like a devil, but man, I come in at the end of a couple hours, I go, okay, I'm done for today.
Not for that shit.
what did I do already? How come I'm so tired?
Right. So if I don't get it done by noon, it has to wait till the next day.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons why I get up so early is that I write in the morning, and then I write, I get up between 4 and 4:30, and then I write for, depends on what I have to work on, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, and then after that is everything else plus a nap.
Right. Yep. That's what I thought when 70 was old. When I was 60, 70, seemed pretty old, but then when I turned 70, it doesn't feel so old anymore. It's like, okay, I can do this. Now 85 and 90 seems old, but I hope to get there too.
And defer is a really good word. Need that We'll just cross that off the list. That can wait till tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, just put a new date on it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you think we're going to have a full house today?
You know, it's full house is an interesting term. We used to have like a lot of people that came to the PGM stuff, and then, you know, it started, and now we get like 8 people on a Monday. And I'm about ready to talk to James about it and say, I'm not interested in, you know, committing this kind of effort for 8 people.
Right.
And we have to think of something to either broaden the appeal, or, you know, I'm going to put my efforts somewhere else because, you know, I just feel like I'm talking to the same 8 people in every meeting I have, you know, and I don't think that's a proper response for a community, you know, and I feel like Machiventa is asking for this community to kind of come together in a way that they can feel what they want to participate in and what they want to support. And I think he'll work with anything, but right now the non-participation is really hard to work with when people don't participate.
He's going to address that directly today.
Good, because in my chat with him this morning, he was talking, because I feel like I've made a few mistakes I need to correct. You know, one of them being try to be a TR and be on this board. It doesn't work. And so I'm going to get off that and just strictly, you know, do the TR. And because when you get your brain so clogged up with the minutia of board meetings, it's really hard to be clear and keep the taint out of the transmission. You know, you get so wrapped up in agendas. And so I realized that yesterday. I realized, you know, I'm going to change a few things.
Ethically erroneous to do both.
Yeah, it's not.
Because when you're TRing, you're really in a transpersonal space.
Right.
And teamwork, board work is all linear. It's all linear. So it's much
well, and it gets very quickly into position taking and politics and the ego, and it's very hard to maintain a clear head, you know, as a TR, and try to figure out what's my and what's his, you know, and pretty soon too much of mine is bleeding into it, and it's not good.
I found it very helpful to just be the TR, and the TR being the mouthpiece, and not taking on Machiventa's role, just to wait for him to speak and then have it come through. And that helped me tremendously. That's one of the major transitions I made years ago. So
well, I'm on the cusp of the same thing. I've just come to it, and of course it's wonderful. You make decisions, you have experiences, and then you learn from them, and you see things that work and don't work, you know.
Yep. Hello, everybody. Good.
Good morning. Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
Hi, everyone.
Yes.
Great to see you guys. Great to see your faces here. Woo woo.
Good. Well, you know who said I had to be here.
Well, you know, let's not mess with you know who.
Yeah.
You know who knows best.
Yeah, we gotta listen to the boss.
Right?
Yes.
Important thing. 3 TRs. Oh my goodness. What could possibly happen today?
We could have a round robin.
We could. Tag team.
I've done that before. It's really interesting.
Oh, wow.
Long ago. And hi.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, everybody. Oh,
Buenos dias.
smiling face. Good.
Yes.
Buenos dias. Yes.
It
Buenos
was
dias.
really interesting. A couple times I would start a TR, and then the other person would finish, and they would quit, and I would continue on where the spiritual being left off. That was boy, that was a trip. That was really trippy. So yeah. Anyhow, we I think John's request or thought or wish for a TR weekend together, 2-3 days, would be something to think about. And holding it in my consciousness for spirit to fulfill. Okay, because I'm not going to work on it. It'll come about when it's supposed to.
Right.
Yeah.
I just want to put it out there in the greater consciousness of the community and see if there's some energy for it.
Yep. Okay, it is whoa,
Top of the hour.
9:00:20.
It's time.
Yeah. And B joining us. Bonjour, B.
Bonjour.
Good morning,
Let me
B.
good morning. Let me just start the video. Oh,
Lovely. Beautiful.
Hi,
Hi,
David.
Dee.
hi.
Good to see you.
Hey, Daniel. Nice to see you.
Let me see. Do we know if
And hi, John. Hi, David. Hi,
Martha will
all.
not be
Hi,
here.
hi.
Buenos días a todos.
Martha's son is in a play, and so she's being a mother, and I'm so excited for her son to be in a play, being a thespian myself. So,
yes.
Hi.
Oh, you do. Oh, you're an actress, huh?
thespian, B.
Thespian.
Thespian. It's more academic.
Oh, okay.
So
Right. Would,
we are on time.
Nice.
It's an exceptional day today. 3 TRs available. It must be a co-creative team this time.
You bet.
Yes.
That's a good
Okay.
sign when the number of TRs in the meeting are equal to the number of the rest of the participants, you know?
At least, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if that has happened in the past. Not sure. Okay. Can we stay a silence for 1 minute, then a prayer, and then we will see if Daniel has something to say from Machiventa. So what I propose you is now, can we center ourselves, center our mind, center our heart, and join together as one mind, one heart, one thought adjuster circuit, to connect this circuit with our spiritual helpers today, the Melchizedek team, because I'm sure they're waiting for us. Daniel always says they are on time, and we are on time, so don't delay too much. So just silence, and then small prayer. Okay. Good.
Here.
Okay, my friend, we want to say some word as a prayer to start. David, would you?
Sí,
Thank you.
amado mío, te doy las gracias por tu hermosa presencia a través de todos tus hijos, tanto tus hijos espirituales como tus hijos humanos, en este círculo de amor al que hemos sido convocados para estar unidos en el propósito al cual tú nos has llamado. Muchas gracias por tu presencia, que el espíritu de fraternidad, de comunión, de verdad prevalezca entre nosotros, que podamos sumarnos en tu hermosa y preciosa y resplandeciente voluntad. Que tu voluntad brille sobre cada uno de nosotros como un faro luminoso para iluminar nuestro camino y el de millones de personas que están esperando que esta luz te ponga por encima de la mesa. Este es el tiempo. Aquí estamos, dispuestos y valientes para servirte. Amén.
All right.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Today, I will share with you the agenda. Let me share. Wait, partager écran. Okay. So today, Daniel, you send a quick message saying maybe Machiventa has something to tell us for our combined team, Mission Urantia and Friday team. Then I would like Kona or David to debrief what was the discussion on the mission board Urantia regarding our collaboration with you. And then we can continue to build up the different steps necessary to build a design team. And also defining the role of each of us, each member for this Friday team. And because today also we have 3 TRs, it's something we have to discuss because we have you today. So Daniel, if you want to have to say something, or it is too early, let us see.
No, let's just jump right into it, okay?
Yeah.
I don't like Daniel's mind to interfere with his mind.
Okay.
Welcome, my friends, to this day. This is Machiventa Melchizedek, your planetary manager. Day signifies, at least for us, a significant, auspicious day, a turning of the watch, so to speak. No puns intended. This calls to an end the phase 1 of the teaching mission. We've now begun phase 2. Phase 2 is this, that in phase 1, we took a very passive role in our work with you, and that we would respond when you came to us. And we came to you even before then and afterwards. And we remain in that same position. We waited for you to ask questions. We waited for you to respond. We waited for you to react. Excuse me. We waited for you to gather together and scratch your heads and think about what was going on and then develop some larger strategic questions. After 35, 40 years of this, we wait no longer. Our work in phase 1 is complete. We have reached the minds and lives of many thousands of people, and only dozens and less than 200 have responded as active members on an ongoing basis. You are the seeds, and some farmers like to prepare the seeds for germination, and they call this germination period where they soak the seeds in a solution of nutrients to prepare them for their journey to become full-grown plants and reproduce again. And so we have been doing this with you. We've been soaking you in the wisdom of Christ Michael and of the angels and of God and so on. Phase 2 is different. We are here and we have a plan, and we are in the process of engaging several of you powerfully for redirection. When you ask for help, we will be there and we will give you suggestions of what to do. We will be the instigating party in this development of this phase 2 of the teaching mission. Phase 2 brings us along to a much more interactive, co-creative role-playing. We have said before that we will heal this world co-creatively with you. And you means the multiple generations that will be required to bring your planet and your civilization into the days of light and life. To do that, imagine yourselves that you are, this time is seen as a family going on a camping trip. We are all part of the same family. And so someone has the camping list. And so we talk to that person and say, what do we need to do? And what do we need to get? And so the person with the list says to this person over here, get the tent and stays and all the equipment and ground cover that we need for the tent. And so on through all the people. And of course, we have children along. And the children haven't done this too many times before, so they have many questions. Of course, one little girl says, "Oh, Mom, what kind of food are we going to eat? And how are we going to prepare it?" And so the mom says, "Well, what I want you to do is get the silverware, the camping silverware, and the camping cookware, and the camping grill, and you and your brother get the gas stove and the gas canisters. That should be enough for you right now." And so we take turns loading the car. And so as this is a surprise to everyone that I have arranged, you asked, well, Machiventa, where are we going today? Are we going to the Redwoods? Are we going to Yosemite? Are we going to some monument on the East Coast? Or are we going to see the Great Arch in St. Louis? Since we can travel instantly to anywhere we want to, maybe we want to go to the beach in South Africa and have a camping out there. So you've asked a question and I give you directions. And when I'm not available, you ask the other celestial who is here for directions and guidance in what you do. You see, you're at the point now where we have led you to a destination and a process. And we have taught you this. We have taught you about the co-creative design team, a means by which more than one personality can come together to solve problems. And of course, in a co-creative design team, we are part of that team as consultants. We are no longer advisory. We are co-participants. Now, my friends, you have seen and experienced much dithering among the teams that have formed after I removed this individual from the active TR position in the Planetary Management design team. And you have experienced many processes, and you've experienced people joining unannounced, and you have seen people leave unannounced. Some people leave in anger and disappointment. Other people have come with hopes of their own to form the future that they want. But I'm here to tell you, my friends, that this future is something that we want. We, you and us. This is where the phase 2 of the teaching mission begins. And let me warn you and advise you that if you do not meet and ask questions, then this will die. And we are willing to do that. Of course, we will be here when the remnants of you, your future generations, want to re-engage this energy, this relationship. You must ask questions. Simple questions. What do we do now? What? And if you ask, well, how does this work? We won't say anything because we've told you. Now, if you want to move forward, you're going to, among all the 300 people, you're going to need one team that meets daily in order to make any progress. Once a week for 1 hour does not work. You must meet at least 5 times a week, regularly. People who can commit to 95% attendance, meaning that 18 times out of 20 days they will be there. This is a deciding point where you decide the future of your life and the future of your commitment to Christ Michael. Obviously, some of you cannot attend this on a daily basis. You would then be observers. You would be inquiring members at the most. You'd be taking your time away for 6 days and 16 hours to develop questions, meaningful questions. And of course, you'd want to track this too. What is missing? What is there? What else do we need? All those things. You see, you would be living in what this one has called an active transpersonal lucid dream situation, where you are dealing with spiritual entities in your presence, and you will be feeling what they say. Of course, you will need to have a TR who can commit to at least over half of those questions and those sessions. It'd be very helpful to have a TR there all the time, every day. And how long to meet? 1 hour is not enough, my friends. That is just the beginning. We suggest you meet anywhere from 2 hours to 4 hours per day, 5 days a week. Yes, this is a job. Does it sound like a job? Yes, it's a job. It is a job. And you will see what it requires and what the benefits are. You'll find, as this one has, as he has moved with us into phase 2, that when you have a sincere question, a sincere ask, you want something, you need something, and you have analyzed it, that ask, as being acceptable, that's something Christ Michael would want to do for you as your brother Jesus, then ask the question. And then you would ask, do you understand of the spiritual members who are there with you, who have received your ask? And they would say yes or no. And if they answer no, you would ask them what is missing, and they will tell you. So eventually you get down to the nub of this question and answers situation, where you ask them, are you willing to move ahead to fulfill this request? And they will say yes. And then you will say, please move forward to fulfill this request. There's no need to command as General MacArthur or Bradley or Eisenhower or one of the contemporary generals would command, or a lieutenant in a platoon. simply, would you be willing to move forward to fulfill this request? And they will say yes. And then you fulfill that command and you say, yes, move forward to fulfill this. Thank you. Don't miss that point. As your planetary manager, we have heard millions upon millions of prayers of people earnestly engaged in their wants and needs, but never asking whether we would agree to fulfill that. And even fewer, it's minuscule. 1/10,000th of 1% of individuals would then follow up the request with, then please move forward to fulfill this request. Don't deal with these instructions lightly, because they will determine how you proceed with your team. Because as a team, there will be occasions where you are stumped. You will not know how to move forward. You will not know what to request. I will give you a for instance. For instance, let us say you're meeting with the team and you're all looking at each other, scratching your heads, and as you're all equals, there's no president, there's no secretary, there's someone who does keep a record of the proceedings and the decisions, of course, but there are no regulated positions other than the ones we have given you as inquiring members, consultant, facilitator, and secretary recorder, who records only the minor, most important things. You would say, for instance, well, you'd say, in this instance, I'll use myself. You'll say, well, Machiventa, we're stumped. We don't know what to ask or how to proceed. If you were in our position now as a mortal, as you advised Abraham so long ago, what would you suggest how we would proceed? As simple as that. Of course, you will need to know what the vision is. Of course, you will need to know what your intentions are. And that you would know exactly what your intentions are. And you would limit these to maybe 3 at the most. 1 or 2 for the time being would be plenty. What we are trying to do in phase 2 is have a closer working relationship with you to make you co-responsible with us in the management of your planet, not as passersby or people in the audience, but as active members of the management team. For your design team will become a sub-team of our own. Don't do that. This could be called a critical phase. If you count the last 35 years as active teaching mission phase 1 time, then phase 2 can take anywhere from a few months to a century or longer. It's up to you and how you proceed. As you know, your world now is in a deep travail. It is in having tremendous difficulties. And no one is asking the questions of this problem or this situation. We have provided you with guidance for those questions and those situations through the writings of Avila Melchizedek, who wrote through this one. Those are very plainly evident in the writings about what to do. One moment. Mrs. Machiventa, we are fully acquainted and understand the requirements of full-time work. We know that many of you cannot provide this as a voluntary act of gratis at this time. And so you must bow out of this volunteer team, except for the roles that you could make contributions. We know what is required for full-time help, and you can anticipate that we will be providing that sometime in the future. And do not act like little children saying, well, we want it now, we want it now. No, your salary will come when it's available to us. Your payment will come available to you when it is in hand. And we will use this very judiciously, very carefully, as we know that once this is given, there will likely be no more that will follow in a similar manner, unless it comes from another person through their own sources, working with spirit or not. This is Machiventa. I am going to stop now and ask if you have questions. And if you don't have any now, formulate them for later when this one or another TR will be available to answer your questions. Thank you. I will wait.
Thank you, Machiventa. Thank you, Daniel. We want to raise the hand. Yes, Connor.
Can't hear you, Jacques.
Yeah.
Can't hear you. You're too low.
Okay. No. Okay. I was asking if somebody has a question, and Connor raised its hand.
Thank you.
This is Kona, and I am taking a few minutes to let the message sink in so that I can formulate a proper question. So that I was more raising my hand to say just a moment while I formulate, while I ponder what's been said.
Thank you.
John?
Yes. Good morning, Machiventa.
Good morning.
So I would ask you then, we are at a nexus point here. And if you were in our shoes, what would you do next? What would be the next step that you would take?
Machiventa. As my address to you a moment ago gave you some new insights about the future, you would want to know now how to resolve the past. Some of you are part of a team, a directorship of another team of the audience, so to speak. Now, you must decide how to resolve this. And let me give each of the teams some insight. And if I might do that now. This is Machiventa. As your planetary manager, I ask the individuals who have formed the teams, the Correcting Time Action Group, Mission Urantia, and
NET.
no, NET is not. No. This is Daniel. Went brain dead here. What's the name of our group? Someone.
Friday's team.
Friday's team. Yeah, God bless you. Thank you. And Friday's team. Now, for each of those teams, I want you to go back through your minutes and determine and find where you and I were in collaboration for the formation of your team. That's all. And when you find that, please come to another forum as this to discuss what we talked about when we jointly formed your team. Understood? Any questions about that?
Yes, Connor.
I have a question in general to the group because I was not at the formation of either the C tag or the Fridays team. I wouldn't know where to begin looking for that. I have been at the beginning of the MU and now the new MU. And certainly I think that the MU group that currently exists can entertain that question and review, where did we come into collaboration with Machiventa? But for the minutes of the beginning of these others, I personally don't know where to look to answer that question. So I would have to depend on those of you who have those notes.
We are looking for individuals who are actually there in the moments with me discussing your team. I know the answer to all of these questions that I'm posing to you, but I want you to find them. And so, Kona, you are excused from this question. Thank you.
I have a question for Machiventa. Because I was part of the CTAG group and PMG group and before. If I recall exactly, Machiventa, at the origin of the correcting type group, PMG group, it was always about discussion and question from us to you or to Sanjad. It seemed for me that when you start to form this group, it was when Daniel, it was quite recently for me. There is in my view, no way to go back long time ago. It's quite recent where you say more or less, this was finished, it's time for you to act. And so I think Machiventa, if I have to dig somewhere, it will be quite in the recent, at the end of the CTAG, and when this group was formed. Am I correct, or do we have to go back later?
You need to go back. This is Machiventa. Yes, I want you to examine your hard copies. Go back in your digital files and find out where we discussed this, and then print those out and send them to other members. This is a hunt and seek project that I'm giving you, and you may or may not find those minutes. They may not be available. They may be recorded 20 years ago. Who knows? And so you would do your homework as best you can. And I would suggest that you set a time when you would like to reconvene with me to discuss this situation, whether that's in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, whatever you need to research this problem, this situation, and report your findings. Right now, your statements, Jacques, are your insights, your memory, your opinions, and we're not discounting that one bit, as these will assist you in finding the documents or the lack thereof to answer this situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Machiventa.
Now, John, this is Daniel. Would you please repeat your statement or question?
So in trying to figure out, a way forward, what I was asking Machiventa is as you suggested earlier, if you were in our shoes, if you were looking to respond to Planetary Manager, what would you do? What would be the first thing that you would do next to make a response?
Machiventa, good question, John. This is what I would do. You know, there's a part of me that's what you'd call a bit of a smart aleck. So I'll give you a smart aleck answer. I, as a mortal on your team, would say, well, Machiventa, do we need to make a decision now about the past, or do we want to make a decision now about the future? And Machiventa would answer this as I am answering now. You must make a decision about the future. And the reasons, this Machiventa, the reasons why you need to make a decision is that you authorize yourself to be co-participants with us and empowered by us to participate in the team and the teams that develop. You are validating the work that you will do in the future by having made the decision to start a team and start it with the designs that we would agree upon in conference in your first team meeting. This, of course, puts the onus, the responsibility on the mortals, you, those who are here today, and those who will be reading these messages. And that's where we want it. We want you to squirm. We want you to feel the responsibility of the work ahead. How do we proceed effectively as a team of co-creative celestial mortals, not as corporate presidents or corporate treasurers or corporate anything else? Now, let me say, as an addendum to that, that if you want to proceed as a corporate team, please go ahead. We have no objections to that. That's your business. If you want to continue MU and Friday's team as they exist right now, go ahead. That's up to you. You will find your way through your questions and answers to us and from us. You have total permission. In other words, you are forming your future. And forming your future, you become responsible for that future, or the lack thereof. This is where the tire meets the road in phase 2 of the teaching mission. This is where we operate together. Now, if you have difficulty, think of yourself on this camping trip. What do I need to do? And you would ask. If you truly do not know what you need to do as an individual or as a team, then you would ask. And through Gabriel's work, it's interesting, through the Most High and through us, we will answer you. He is the executive officer under Christ Michael. He understands the XO position of advisement and judicial advisement. And so he will be advising us. He'll be advising me, and he will be advising you through me or one of the Melchizedeks, or through Azalah, the archangel who has been working with us so closely, representing Mother Spirit. Thank you.
Thank you, Melchizedek. Thank you.
This is Jacques. I have a question to you, Machiventa. You say, make decision for the future. And I remember that one of our very first Friday team meeting was we started to discuss how to create a family learning center. Because if we look at the future, repairing what's happened today in our world is really the future. We have to establish rules for family learning center so that people can raise their people from the young age to the adult so that they make powerful decisions. So are we on track if we continue this job on developing family learning center courses?
Machiventa, yes, you most definitely are. And I advise you not to get sidetracked about Friday's team business. If you want to do business, do it afterwards and not before your work for Grace Michael. Yes, and of course, I would advise you is that you would want to first work on the relationship between the Family Learning Center and the individuals who come through your doors. Think of this project you are working on as a brick and mortar business. Somewhere they have an address and a front door, a sign on the front. And so when new people come through that door, you would want to greet them. And what would you tell them? And then, of course, you tell them about the philosophy and the program. And the program is the key to everything that happens in the Family Learning Center. You would want to work on this program. And what classes does the program involve? And what do the laboratories involve? Remember, this is a learning center. It's not just didactic learning out of a book. This is actual experience that parents will be involved in with or without their child. They will be practicing the real life situations they will replicate at home. So you would want to have your program well developed and the various areas that you would consider, and then you would then proceed with the staff. What kind of staff would you need to teach these these classes, and on and on and on. It is very much like you would have, and there are probably people that you know of in this community or in France or otherwise who are on committees for an educational facility. Public ones have public sources. Private educational facilities must come up with their own answers for what they teach. And so you would want to do something that fully expresses all your work. We project that it would probably take you maybe a year, 9 months to 12 months to work through this Family Learning Center from start to finish. And hopefully long before then, we will have resources available to assist you. Remember, you're not alone in this. Remember, you can ask for things. Not things that you can provide or do for yourself and for others, but things that are needed to continue what you're doing. Okay? And remember, money is not always the answer. Money is usually just the means to get an answer. If you said, well, we need a curriculum specialist, we need the money to hire a curriculum specialist. How do we earn this money? You just simply ask, we feel a need for a curriculum specialist at this time. Would you agree with that? And perhaps the Celestial will say, very much so. And then you would ask, well, would you be willing to bring one to us? And the Celestial would say, most certainly. Do you have any requirements? And on it goes. Okay. Now you may ask, what is this all about? It's all about healing your planet, for one. But first of all, it is, establishing an ongoing working relationship between spirit and mortals. Spirit is all of us in the morontial and spiritual and eternal realms. And of course, you are on the mortal material side, time-wise. I thank you for your question. It was a very good question. This is, you gather what you will do in your teams. Each team will use the intelligence and knowledge and skills that you already have available to you in the members there. And when you don't have an answer, you will seek someone in the community to help fulfill that. And when that is not available, you'll come to us and ask us. We're not going to provide you with everything that you need immediately, but want you to work through that need process so that when you truly need something and it's unavailable to you, but it's necessary, then you come ask. I've mixed a number of items together here for your benefit and perhaps even for your confusion. This is something you'll have to live through. Thank you.
Thank you, Machiventa. Kona, you had a question?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Machiventa, for that. You said a couple of things that I have pondered and I find very interesting. One of the things that our MU team have discussed is on Mondays during our board meetings, rather than spend 2 hours on business, we want to do business very quickly and then open the floor for the participants to ask questions of our team and also give us input for content for the communications platform and anything else. It seems like we are segueing naturally into your request, which is to minimize how much time we're spending on quote unquote the business of the business and spending more time integrating this communication with the people who are interested who come and participate, and really have them also participate as inquiring members, you know, and make contributions. So I guess that's maybe a comment, but also looking for your feedback. And you know, we have a design team, but if we're in those quote unquote board meetings that we are trying to enhance for the greater benefit of the community, how do those who are used to observing, how can we better incorporate them into participating in this process? Or should we, at that point, communicate with you and demonstrate what a design team looks like in our co-creative process to build the communications platform that we're building to serve your team? That's my question.
Oh, that was your 9 questions.
Thank you.
This is Machiventa. Well, my style is to cut through things and make them simple. Which is more important to you, the business of the business or the work at hand that you know needs to be done? Can you answer that now?
Well, of course, it's the business that needs to be done, and the business of the business we are trying to get done in work meetings just for that purpose. But the business of creating the future, for me at least, my other team members can speak for themselves, but I believe that the business of the future with co-creating with your team is most important.
I agree with you. And therefore, that is what you start with. What usually happens in meetings that are bifurcated between business of the business and the program is that the business of the business takes over the time, and then it's time to close. So it'd be much better to work on your mission, meaning the work at hand, and set a time for that. Let me give you an example. Your team decides, yes, it is very important that we work on the program, and we'll do that for 2 hours and then stop. And then after that, we will do the business of the business. Or you may determine that working on the program for an hour is enough, and then the business. You decide, but it's important for us and to us that you begin with the program first. Thank you.
Thank you, Machiventa.
Further questions before we close? Before I close?
Juan, do you have a question?
The other part of my question, I'm not sure that was addressed since I asked 9 or 10 questions at once, was with our observers. Is the best way to move forward with those who have been observing us to demonstrate what we're learning in design team and co-creative with you, or is it time to bring more people into learning this design team method by participating with us, either as official observers or inquiring members?
Well, this is Machiventa. Now, if we were to do a forensic examination of your question, your statements, you gave me only 2 options to answer. You become the restrictor, the filter for what comes from the celestial. It is far better to ask an open-ended question without an and or but simply ask a question simply, and then work through that as much as possible. You are not the first multi-question asker that we've had and experienced in the last 20 some odd years of this work. Some of you can recall that we had one individual who went on and on and on and on to fill 2 pages of text before closing their question. And it was impossible to answer those questions because they were illogical, they didn't connect, and it limited the answers that we could provide. We, however, are very simple. I continue to emphasize simplicity, is that if you're going to start with a brick house and you see that this is a 2-story brick house and for living in by a family, that where would you start? Would you start with the chimney? Probably not. You would start logically with the bare ground that you had dug out to get down to firm soil or hard rock, and you would begin laying your bricks there and continue up, 1 brick at a time that fits with the other brick. I ask you, dear one, to do this for us, please. Simplify your questions, stage them in your mind, know what you are asking and why you're asking, and then ask us a simple question. We are incredibly patient. You will find that we could stay here for 10 hours answering your questions in an order, where one builds upon the other, in a logical, rational manner. These fully extended, developed questions lead readers into confusion as well. We aren't confused one bit. However, our audience is the rest of the world, and our time is limited. Your time is limited. And so we want to make the best of the time as much as we can. Do not consider this to be a rebuke or a slap on the fanny. This is simply instructions for your benefit and for the listeners and the audiences of the future. This would be part of the lesson, part of a lesson that would be given within a design team, that would begin within your executive committee, for example. Thank you. Now, please repeat the question, a question.
Thank you, Machiventa. From the planetary management's perspective, how can we best utilize our time with the observers in our meetings when we are working with you co-creatively?
How to best utilize their time? You would announce the topic at the beginning or beforehand in your agenda. And then you would ask people, observers, inquiring members, to formulate their questions around that topic. And then when the time came, you would have your opening, your prayer, your meditation, etc. And you would state the question for the session. And then you'd ask the audience, do you have questions? And that's how you proceed. Thank you.
Thank you.
David,
No.
you raise your hand? No?
No tengo preguntas, gracias.
Is there a question going to be asked?
Nobody else have any more questions?
Thank you. This is Machiventa. I thank you for your time. It's not been an easy session, has it? No, this is one of direction. This is where you now have somebody in charge who's giving you direction and instructions. We are, to use a well-worn phrase that people of your world use, and which we have no meanness involved at all, but we are tired of chasing cats, herding cats. We'd like you all to come together, and I am dragging behind me a great big tuna fish that the cats can follow and share. I thank you for this time. This transmission has involved quite a number of the ideations of this one, and we apologize for that. We would much rather prefer to address your minds directly, even in a meeting like this. We are giving you the greatest latitude for your freedom and honor that in every way possible. Now, in the company of Gabriel and Christ Michael and the Most Highs, we thank you for your time, and we release you from these moments. Thank you again for your love and your assistance to help us co-creatively. Good day.
Thank you, Machiventa.
Thank you.
Thank you, Machiventa.
Gracias.
Thank you,
Thank
Daniel,
you.
for your time and energy.
Ooh, these are tough for me.
I apologize for the very brief interruption. We had a black squirrel run through the house, and then I almost fell off my stool here.
You had a black squirrel run through the house.
I have my eyes closed. I was totally there, and so so there you are.
Sounds like the fairies are having fun with you guys, throwing animals in your midst.
I sit in the old sun porch of this old cabin, which is about 100 years old, and there's a deck around it and trees next door. And during these hot days, we keep the house open, the front door open with a fan running to bring in cold air while we have it, and then we close the doors eventually. So once in a while, a neighbor dog will come bouncing into the house, and now today a black squirrel.
That's what happens when you live in a nut house.
Oh, John. Oh.
Good one, Dad. I like it. And most apropos.
We should all have black squirrels then.
We truly live with the critters, and so but that was really comical. I was in such
Brilliant.
a nice space.
This Daniel, we're going to recede now, unless you have any directions or instructions for myself or for Cheryl. Looks like you have some work to do to find out a time and date when you want to meet again with Machiventa. Of course, you can meet with Machiventa through John or through Kona. And those two can decide if they want to be up to it or not. It's actually a wonderful test. This is what I had to do when I first started, was to answer questions I had absolutely no knowledge of, and so it had to come from spirit. And yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking. I apologize for having my eye closed, my left eye. I have apparently some kind of infection between my eyeball and my eyelid, and you know, 2 days ago I had some leftover Vicodin and wouldn't touch it, so I went to emergency, and they're working on it now. So anyhow, God bless you, and thank you for continuing to meet. You truly are the point of the spear of our advancing spiritual neighbors. All right. God bless.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Danielle, great
Thank
to
you,
see you,
Cheryl.
Cheryl.
Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Blessings.
Bye-bye.
Take
Thank
care of
you.
yourself.
Bye, Daniel. Bye, Cheryl.
Bye-bye.
Adios.
Wow. It gave
Phase
us
two.
phase two. I think the most important question now is, are we able, this group, to meet more often, 4 to 5 days a week for 2 hours? I think that's the question for me. Because if we answer yes at this question, I think we have some material to dig and some direction to go. Yes, Connor?
So I think that it's fascinating to me, and this is a comment more than an answer. It's fascinating to me that now that MU is reforming and we have 2 people that are working full time, we have to work 2 to 5, 6 hours a day anyway. And, you know, my thought is I know David and John, you've already been working co-creatively for hours at a time on the work at hand, if I'm not mistaken. And so we're naturally progressing into this phase 2 with the work that we've been doing. So the question is, how many, you know, how much can we get done with how many people, who's available to continue this co-creative process? And, you know, I'd like to hear from John and David if that's an accurate reflection of the work that you're doing is that co-creative work, if you see that kind of like I'm expressing.
John or David, you have the answer?
I think for myself, before I make any comments on this or try to answer anything, is I need time to reflect. I need time to consider, because this is a big ask. And it has implications for everybody's family and relationships. And so I need time to, in my own quiet time and meditation and consultation, you know, with my thought adjuster and Machiventa, is to ask for some sort of clarity on my own personal position, what I'm doing. So I would kind of need some time to think about it.
This time, is it 1 week or 2 weeks? This kind of thing, or?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But probably a week at least.
Oui, at least, for sure. B, you raise your hand.
Yes,
David
I
had
can
his hand
tell
up
you.
too.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, I can't commit to more than this. I can barely commit to this. So if the request is that much time every day, I can't do it.
We understand, B. This does not mean for me that you will be outside, because you have some good contribution to do. And I think even if you go 2 hours a week like you do today, we can manage anyway, because we don't want to lose you in this
Well,
group.
I don't want to leave actually, but
No, I understand.
I have to be honest that I know right when I heard that, I knew right away I cannot commit to that. I personally think that's a lot to ask for people who might have other jobs and commitments. Like I'm, you know, obviously I'm younger, I have a full-time job, I have a young child. Obviously I cannot devote that amount of time, right? But even for people who are retired, they have other commitments. It's a lot of time to ask on a volunteer basis. To be honest, I don't know how much. I don't know. I can't speak for all others, obviously, but I'm just out of curiosity, out of the people who are here today, how many of you see being able to make that kind of a commitment daily, up to 4 hours?
if I speak for me, I am retired, so I can afford 4 hours a day. The only problem I face today is with my family. If there is a commitment with my family, automatically I have a commitment with me. But this could be a connection between me, my thought adjuster, and my wife's thought adjuster. That's it. So this is something can be resolved, because if when Machiventa said, if you need something, we'll give you something. So yes, I need something. I need a celestial help with my wife, so that she said, okay, you can do it 4 hours a day, or more someday and less of the day. This could be a possibility for me. But I am blocked today with my family relationship, for sure. David, you raise your hand before. Yes.
Muchas gracias. Yo no estoy preocupado por cuántas personas puedan unirse en este momento, ni por cuántas horas puedan trabajar. Tengo claridad sobre lo que debo hacer. Sé que cuento al 100% con el apoyo de Machiventa. Sé que tengo el apoyo de Cristo Miguel y tengo el apoyo también de algunos de mis hermanos. Creo que lo que debemos hacer es que a partir de la semana entrante, la plataforma web de Joam empezará a hacer publicaciones, dando sus primeros pasitos de bebé. Creo que conforme vayamos avanzando y el barco se empiece a mover, los recursos humanos y los recursos materiales empezarán a ser atraídos de forma natural, porque buscaremos conectar con el corazón de las personas a través de preguntas poderosas. Tenemos toda la información que necesitamos. Yo estoy dedicado a este trabajo 24 horas al día. No tengo ninguna duda. Sin embargo, me gustaría saber quiénes de ustedes estarían disponibles y en qué áreas les gustaría participar. Hay mucho trabajo por hacer. Vamos a crear una plataforma de carácter global. Vamos a dirigirla a generaciones de millennials, a jóvenes que tienen 13, 14 años, 35, 44 años, en todo el mundo y en todos los idiomas. Así que será un trabajo que va a requerir no solamente algunas horas, sino muchas vidas, tanto de nosotros como de otras generaciones. Así que creo que ha llegado el momento de poder entrar en acción y hacer que esta página que ha estado detenida durante meses pueda entrar en actividad. Creo que poco a poco iremos formulándonos preguntas que en este momento no tenemos. Pero estoy en paz y solamente quería comentarles eso. Muchas gracias, hermanos.
Juan,
Juan.
Hola, buenos días para todos. Bueno, de acuerdo a lo que dice Machiventa, sí necesita gente que esté ocupada y concentrada en este trabajo. Dentro de 2 días vamos a tener elecciones en Venezuela y es muy posible que el régimen político al fin cambie. Eso traerá como consecuencia que los que estamos sin hacer gran cosa, ya empecemos a idear nuevas formas de vivir, de gozar de mejor bienestar. Yo estoy dispuesto 100% con ustedes, pero me gustaría que fuéramos más directos a lo que tenemos que hacer, no dar muchas vueltas. Por lo menos, David dice que comencemos la página web, darle contenido. Ok, hay que escoger qué temas. Vamos a trabajar por lo menos 5 temas. Desarrollen contenido de estos 5 temas. Y ya uno sabría qué hacer. Porque es que hay tantos temas que uno para escogerlo y de repente yo desarrollo un tema que a David a lo mejor no le guste o a alguno de ustedes no le guste, entonces pierdo mi trabajo, ¿verdad? Tenemos que ser más específicos, saber qué es lo que vamos a hacer. Conmigo cuenta todo el tiempo, o sea, no hay problema. Yo a veces tengo dificultades por el ruido que se hace ambiental, pero estoy dispuesto a trabajar y a reunirme todas las veces que ustedes quieran. Estoy 100% a su disposición. Gracias.
Gracias, Juan.
Gracias.
B,
Thanks, Juan.
you raise.
Okay, so I hear that there are, so I take it that's a yes, that you can commit to a daily. Is that a yes from you, Juan?
Sí, no hay problema. Por el momento no hay
Okay.
problema.
Well, that's good. I mean, we have potential, so how, that's like, okay. So
Four
4.
potentials. Four potentials. John is going to give it a week. I need to
Okay.
ponder, exactly how much time. But I'm already, both feet in MU and committed.
Right. How much time does MU take, out of curiosity, for a
Going forward, she left us by accident. Anyway, to answer that question, MU is it's full-time, it's contracted about 20, but it's going to be with what David and I have to do. We're working, I don't know how many hours he's put in, but I can easily see 30 hours a week. We have a lot on our plate to get done.
So from the MU board, you two are 100% committed. And I have a question. You told us that past week you had a discussion with the MU board about also the contribution of the Friday team. What was the result of this discussion?
David, would you like to address that question?
Muchas gracias. Yo creo que estas últimas 2 semanas han sido de noticias inesperadas y de muchas emociones que cada uno de los miembros de la Junta, de la mesa directiva de Misión Urantia, procesado de diferentes maneras. En este momento, al menos yo estoy en un tiempo de reflexión muy importante. Terminando esta reunión con ustedes, le voy a pedir a Kona y a John que se quede unos minutos para poder elaborar nuestra agenda y confirmar una reunión para el día de mañana entre nosotros 4. Dicho lo anterior, creo que es inevitable que podamos en el futuro estar unidos. Así que no estoy preocupado por eso. Juan tiene toda la disposición, Jacques, Kona está dentro. Así que ese no es el punto de discusión, sino cómo y cuándo. Creo que todavía hay algunas áreas que nosotros debemos de resolver internamente. Yo personalmente he dedicado mucho tiempo a un aspecto burocrático. Tenemos 9 meses trabajando en eso. Y solamente una fracción de eso en una plataforma dirigida al público en general. Voy a invertir ese tiempo. Voy a cambiar las cosas para poder poner la energía en la obra, porque ya la planeación está terminada. Así que esperamos que muy pronto, también conforme las dudas de John se resuelvan y su proceso de reflexión también termine, junto con el mío, poder estar listos para responder de qué manera, cuándo y cómo nos vamos a unir en un propósito común.
Thank you, David. Yes, Connor?
Yeah, I think that, we have time to ponder how this is going to come about. As John says, it's for what he's doing. It's really important. I mean, to end the phase of a teaching mission, which has lasted, 30, 35 years, and begin a whole new phase is really a lot, one, to take in. I mean, I wasn't even involved in the teaching mission per se. I only, have to, what this group and the other groups have shared about the teaching mission. I'm learning. I see the necessity of phase 2, but it's going to take us a little bit of time to reorganize. So, I don't see us starting next week meeting 2 to 4 hours a day to do this. I think maybe we work into, we have our 1 day a week, maybe we do 2 days a week, and then over time we do 3 days a week, and then over time we do 4 days a week. I see us potentially, changing that over time as opposed to immediately, because I don't think we're quite ready to jump in. All of us, what would we talk about for 2 hours and what would we get accomplished? We kind of have to give ourselves some time to get some direction and ask some really good questions of Machiventa on, best way to proceed. So I'm excited about it because I see it, the parallel with where Mission Urantia is going. I'm really excited about that. I think it's fuel to us to hear this from Machiventa, and it gives us a process, to think about and how to proceed. So, for that reason, I'm excited. And I think personally, we can benefit from the co-creative opportunity to create content, which is what we have started talking about in the last several weeks. I mean, this is an opportunity to come together and create the content that the communications platform needs. But I also agree that we need a little bit of time to adjust in where we are before we, make plans on moving forward.
I agree with your comment, Connor. We cannot jump from 1 day to 2 hours to 4 hours a day for 5 days. So it will be anyway progressive. Because you said you don't have the background of the teaching mission. I can tell you that teaching mission, because I read like Jacques many transcripts. At that time, it was just message from Celestial. First, telling people that they are here and asking question, quite general question. I understand that phase 1 is finished. Today, I feel that we are in a position like, I would say, Abraham. Because Machiventa came physically here, and to Abraham, he was able to answer this real question from these tribes. And here today, if we all commit here, if we want to commit, we will be in the same position. It's something we will feel, because today when I answer the TR from you, Connor, Daniel, or from John, it's wonderful because I understand all the question from Al Salvador, for example. He's often repeating questions, same question, how we go there, how we go there. But now we have really to put our hands in the grease. It's finished. We have all the questions answered. We need to act and to do something. And I think if the Family Learning Center is the answer for the future, and I think it is the answer, we have concrete job to be done. And of course, 1 hour a week is not enough. It will be much more job to do. That's my comment. B, you want to add something? You're muted.
Sorry, I had technical difficulties. My phone was overheating and yeah, again. So sorry, but I caught the tail end of what you said, and I do think that I agree with the two main things that we need to do at this time are to establish a family learning center, and the second is to establish a website that we can reach out to to the world, to young people, so that they know that the 7 core values really need to be the center of all decision making. Those are the two prongs that I see that are very important right now.
And in developing the family learning center, I'm sure in parallel we will bring this syllabus, because when we speak about, I would say, kindness, it's part of the syllabus and it will be illustrated easily. I think so. And as said Machiventa, go on the mission, not too much on business of business. I mean, that's an important point to consider.
Okay, and I also missed, sorry if this has already been stated, I apologize, but one of the thoughts that I had is that we do have to be a little bit more disciplined in the use of our 2-hour time, whether or not that is in this context or another. This time management in a meeting, no matter how long it is very important. So I just know that when I have work meetings, there is somebody who is keeping track of the time and saying, okay, we've spent too much time talking about this, let's defer it and let's move on to the next topic.
Connor?
Yeah, and you bring up a good point to be, we're moving from a phase of learning to a phase of action. So the nature of our questions, as Machiventa was trying to get us, and especially me, to understand, is not, we're not asking questions to learn something. We're asking questions about what action should we take, and being more clear about, so it's more like a work meeting. And Machiventa is there at the work meeting with us, and we say, we're looking at doing this thing. And then we're having a conversation. How do we go about implementing this thing? What steps do we need? All of that. It's not of, well, what a, I don't know if I'm making myself clear, but it's not like an internal learning. It's literally like, how do we accomplish this thing, and figuring out, like you said, what do you need? And many times you said, well, we need an expert in this. And then so we can say, well, Machiventa, do you think we need an expert in this? And Machiventa can say yes or no. If he says yes, what did you have in mind? Well, we need an expert in such and such a town, in such and such a country, who is open to these ideas. Could you please bring that person to us? It's getting very specific about how to accomplish these things. That's the transition. It's from academic to workplace. We just graduated. We just graduated from university, and now we've got our first job. And our first job is to do these things. Maybe it's an internship, but to do these things with our planetary manager. So we need to shift how we're thinking about our interactions with the celestials at this point.
I have a suggestion in how we do our work. I think it would be more efficient for us to divide tasks and have somebody in charge of something. Maybe, I don't know how much time I can give, but I'm just saying, like, rather than having everybody work on the same task at the same time and having to collate everything, my suggestion would be to assign tasks to everyone and then afterwards give everyone the opportunity to review that and make suggestions. It might be a little bit more of a efficient use of time. I don't know what everyone thinks about that.
Well, I think we have we've tried that in the past. And we ended up, I don't know how well we accomplished that. I don't think we finished any of our tasks, but we have divided up tasks in the past and got to where we got. I think, John has wisdom in that we need to take some time to let this integrate and then get with our thought adjusters about, well, what role do I play now? And, what direction do we need to take? Because, Jacques is clear about the Family Learning Center, but David and I are clear about the communications platform and the content for that. So that right there are two different tasks that need to be accomplished. And so we've got to be clear about what we personally believe that we're supposed to be working on. And we need to take some time with that more than, just discussing back and forth. That's going to be a personal connection with our celestials, my opinion.
Why can't we do both? Why can't
I'm not saying we can't.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we can't.
Yeah. Those are the two things I think that are a priority right now, Family Learning Centers, and the communication platform is just, for me, a means to get the right ideas about our values out there. So yeah, I don't see why we can't do both. We just have to be kind of disciplined in terms of if we're going to meet or whenever, however often you guys meet about it, just be a little bit more cognizant of the time utilization. Because I know we can start blobbing and then it just and then time kind of whittles away. I would be happy to help work with the website design. I don't know what has happened. I've not been attending the MU meetings, but where exactly is the website design at this moment? I know the landing page is still up.
Yo quiero preguntar porque me perdí en el texto. ¿A qué dos conceptos se refiere B?
One concept
Sure.
is developing the Family Learning Center on one side, and the second concept is promoting the website, your website, your own.
Okay.
But if we want to be productive, I think we will manage, because if we have more time, if we have a clear agenda, with a clear action, with a clear timing, it will work. But we have also to be, because now the new parameter is that we have Machiventa and the Celestial Helpers team behind. And it means that you have seen the comment from Machiventa to Kona about asking clear questions. And I think during the preparation of the work we will do, we have to think about the question we have to ask to Machiventa or the Celestial team. It must be a very clear question, prepared before the session. And we will have other during the session. But the best one will be those prepared before or during the session for Machiventa and the team. And this will make a big difference.
Can I make an observation about what Daniel's transmission?
Yeah.
Well, not an observation, sorry, my opinion. I should clarify that. I did notice that at the end, I don't know if you picked that up, but Machiventa did say at the end that a lot of what was said in the beginning of the transmission was a lot of Daniel. Did anyone else pick that up? And
Connor,
yeah.
yes.
Well, what I heard Machiventa saying is the idiosyncrasies and the idioms that Daniel uses are his own. And Machiventa was, what I interpreted, Machiventa was saying, sorry about that. That's his database. He uses the example of the camping trip. He uses things in his database to help get the point across. Machiventa uses his database, but I don't think the concept that was presented as far as phase 2 teaching is Daniel.
Okay.
Because even
No,
with
not that part.
Yeah, okay. Because even with Donna, D'Angelo, and John's transmissions from the Celestials, Christ Michael, Machiventa, we're in a new phase of the correcting time. We're in a reckoning phase. We're in divine justice. Things have shifted. And so this doesn't surprise me, but that's also my opinion. I mean, I haven't sat with, I'm responding as Kona in the present moment to what we just received. I haven't obviously sat with it because we just received it.
Okay. I'm curious, what does John think? Because I'm just curious from the TR perspective, because I'm not a TR.
John, would you like to comment if you're still online?
He may have had to step away for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah. But I concur with what you said, Connor. Phase 2 is really the message from Machiventa. And if you go back in few sessions, past session, you will realize that Machiventa was pushing us to act, to do, not to discuss too much.
It's completely shifted, from, like I said, we just graduated. We're not asking questions anymore. We just got hired. We've been tasked with something to do. We've been told what our hours are, and then now we have to phase that in. And I was just sent a message to a friend of mine on the women's core team, things are shifting. This was before our meeting. My world is shifting. I see how things are changing. I see even my children, my grandchildren's schedule is shifting. My schedule is changing. We're definitely in a shift. So for people who are comfortable with change, it's exciting. For people who are not comfortable with change, it's terrifying. So,
yeah.
But I want to be cognizant of the time. We have less than 30 minutes left. Do we want to, Jacques, do we want to just, for this next week, plan on meeting next Friday? And after we've all had a chance to sit with it, discuss? I mean, David has answered one of your agenda items. MU did not make a clear decision on how we want to integrate with Friday's team yet, because we, as a brand new board, now that there's only 4 of us, we have some things that we have to take care of and get strong with each other before we take on another project, like bringing in the design team. So from both perspectives, it gives us time to integrate into a new plan. I would say even a month, depending on if David agrees. Give MU board a month to do some of these things. At least that gives the Friday design team a month to reflect and figure out how to move forward. How does that sound?
Yes, David.
Estoy completamente de acuerdo con Conan. Nosotros 4 todavía debemos afinar algunas cosas. Algunas de ellas pueden ser un poco sorpresivas todavía. Estamos en territorios nuevos, amigos. Hoy hemos presenciado oficialmente la culminación de una etapa y el inicio de otra etapa. Así que seamos pacientes. Juan, Jacques, Vi, hay espacio para ustedes de tiempo completo o 10 minutos. Lo que ustedes puedan aportar, hay espacio para recibirlo en este barco. Solo necesitamos estructurar esto de una manera funcional. Este no es un día de campo. Necesitamos profesionalizarnos para poder ser eficientes y rápidos. Esa profesionalización requiere una estructura básica y mínima. Apple Computer es una empresa que tiene miles de empleados en todo el mundo, pero empezaron 3 en un garage. Esto, y poco a poco se fueron integrando más personas. Aunque tuviéramos en este momento $1 millón, tardaríamos semanas en organizarnos. Seamos pacientes. Hay espacio para todos. Yo personalmente, a partir de ahora, voy a dedicarme exclusivamente al tema de Yoam, la plataforma. Esa va a ser mi misión personal y Kona lo hará desde la mesa directiva y yo lo haré también, pero desde la estructura ejecutiva. Hay algunas cosas que necesitamos resolver al respecto, pero en principio son buenas noticias. Yo creo que sobre la marcha podremos ir haciendo las invitaciones a cada uno de ustedes, de acuerdo a su tiempo. Y además, ustedes mismos podrán postularse en el momento que lo deseen para cualquier cosa que esté en su corazón. Es decir, la puerta está abierta de par en par.
Okay, David, thank you. Yes, Connor?
Yes, in response with what David is saying, what occurs to me would probably be the best way to continue to move forward with Friday's team is to finish this project of discussing what it looks to be a professional design team. I mean, we started that process, and that would help us work together to figure out how to operate together, if that works also for David. I mean, to go back and finish formulating over the next 4 weeks, what does it look like for us to be a professional design team? Because that's what we're moving into. That's what we've been asked to do. So how do you guys, how does that sit with you, gentlemen?
Anyway, this task has not been concluded. We have said it will be part of a leaflet because we need dozens of design teams in the near future. So we can continue to work on this. And Juan and myself, we did not do this week, but Juan, if you agree, we will take the input of everybody, summarize it, and propose at the next meeting to work on this subject. We will summarize the best practices or the steps, the 10 steps to create a design team. Juan, you agree? Because we have received your inputs.
Okay, sí.
Okay. I will contact you during this week. Yes, Connor.
Sure. And also I met with my professor yesterday and said that, you know, our design team would love to hear from him. And he put it back on me and he said, he said, I'm happy to come and sit with them for an hour and let them ask questions. But he and I discussed, you know, because he's read Daniel's work, you know, because I'm reading it, he's reading it. And so he and I have discussed back and forth the pros and the cons of Daniel's work about design teams, and him being a professional in the design thinking world. He has a few suggestions. One is that we need to understand the mindsets of design. And David has brought this up before. So for example, and this really helped me to clarify the challenges that the MU board had. One of the mindsets in design is to have a tolerance for ambiguity and a willingness to fail. Those are really important. If you're going to go into a design team to design anything, you have to be willing to be tolerant of ambiguity, the unknown. That's like having faith. You have to be willing to take action and move forward and create something and test it and then fix it. So you have to be willing to go beyond thinking and into action. So those are some of the things that he and I talked about. That's his response to Daniel's work. it's his response to some of the things that I've written and that he's working with me on too. And the other thing is people who are successful in design teams, they have a mindset, they have an inclination to see reality before it's created, to see. So we can see this family learning center before we've created it, which gives us a foundation to create a prototype, right? We share this together. That's what's going to help us be successful. But understanding how co-creativity works and designing together works is some of these mindsets. And so we could even over the next several weeks talk about those things. What is it that helps a design team be successful? Personal vision. For us to buy into a shared vision, which we have to be the type of people that have a vision for ourselves, right? What is your vision for yourself in your life? Well, I think at least all of us have this vision of ourselves having conversations with celestials. We have that shared vision. So there are other aspects of design and design thinking and design consciousness that play a role in where we're going for us to be successful. And David has mentioned a lot of those. My professor has brought up almost identical to what David's talked about with this group. And those things will only help us be more successful in everything that we work together to create co-creatively.
So, Kona, you propose that we continue to work on the step to make a good design team, work on the problem we may face, and then we'll invite your professor, but not before.
Sure.
Okay. So
I only have one more month with him. I only have two more meetings with him. So sometime in the next 4 weeks, we would have him, and I would need to ask him by, let me look at my calendar again. By August 8th, I need to give him a potential date to come meet with us.
So we will have it before.
Yeah.
So it's 45, means left 15 minutes. So to conclude, Juan and myself, we will work on the summary of what we have received as a best step to create a design team for the next session. Altogether, each one will think about their own participation to this project phase 2, how we can join this team full-time within a few months. David, you continue to work, and Kona, you continue to work for Mission Urantia nearly full-time. John, you will think about your future as well, like me. And I have a question to Juan. Last time we received from David and you an intelligence AI summary. Then I received from Juan a caption transcript, which was quite good. It was just 26 pages compared to 150 or 200 pages. My question to you, Juan, how do you process to make these 26 pages of caption?
Lo hago con una inteligencia artificial. Es muy eficiente. Tuve que corregirle muy pocas cosas, pero bastante conciso, bastante entendible. Bueno, me gusta mucho que te haya gustado, porque tenía esa duda si había caído bien o había caído mal. Eso lo saqué del mismo video. ¿Ok? Procesé el video y del video saqué eso.
No, for me, it was very good. It saved me a lot of time because I agree. I think it's a question to you all. We need to keep the transcript paper version quite short, but still keep a transcript of what we are saying here. Do you agree, or only do you think video is enough?
Yo te propondría que yo hiciera la transcripción completa, ¿verdad? Te la enviara y tú le haces, lo resumes si quieres, le quitas las partes que no sean convenientes, pero es muy importante mantener la transcripción completa. ¿Ok? El que quiera verla completa, que la busque.
Validate it for me. It's okay. And I have another question to Kona and David. At the last meeting, we had a very nice presentation of the MU board slides. Personally, I think it would be valuable to get this part of our meeting on YouTube. Just this part. So who is able to do a YouTube version of the presentation of the project? Kona?
I don't disagree with you about that, and I've thought about that as well, not just for YouTube, but potentially for the Mission Urantia site.
Okay.
And so we're in the process of figuring out what goes on Mission Urantia, what goes on YOAM. I think that's a great idea. I do think that we need a professional presentation that can be used and sent out even ahead of a personal presentation, so that people get an idea of what it is that we're trying to accomplish. So we can take that back to our MU board meeting and discuss, you know, how to do that. But I think it's a good idea.
And if we go further, projecting to the future, we could do the same thing for the Family Learning Center. Before we create a real one, we could, because David is good on projecting future, we can't do the project of the Family Learning Center. What we need to put in, and it would be a YouTube also in advance in YOAM, before we have a real family center ready to be online. Okay.
I just have one question for David real quick. David, did you understand my recommendation for the Friday team to continue working on the design team methodology?
Sí, y estoy de acuerdo contigo. Yo creo que una de las cosas importantes que necesita la plataforma digital es trabajar en ejemplos. Los ejemplos nos van a dar una idea de qué tipo de temas vamos a tratar y de cómo los vamos a abordar. La intención es que en el mínimo producto viable pongamos muchos ejemplos sobre diferentes temas, los temas más importantes sobre los cuales vamos a trabajar. Estos temas los vamos a tratar también entre nosotros 4, pero los equipos de diseño son un tema fundamental dentro de esta plataforma. Así que la intención de tener un PDF simple es muy importante. Yo me voy a encargar de diseñarlo, de hacer ajustes sobre eso con el contenido que ustedes me proporcionen. Va a ser una pieza muy bonita y nos vamos a sentir orgullosos de lo que podemos hacer un pequeño grupo de personas. Así que creo que es una muy buena idea lo que tú propones, Conan.
Perfect. So one aspect of, you know, creating this is we create it, then we work from it and see if what we created really works. And then we adjust it and recreate it, you know, which you can do in a digital format many times, but whatever we create, you know, we need to test and see how it works, or take it to, you know, our larger CTAG group and test it and say, hey, we have come up with a design for design teams. If you'll help us test this out, here is what we suggest. Let's see if it works, kind of thing. So keep that in mind, as testing is very much a design mindset and concept.
Between theory and practice, yes, John?
I just want to let you know at 10 o'clock I have to leave. I have a firm commitment. So I just wanted to put that out there. If I get up and leave at 10 o'clock and you're still going, it's because I have to.
Oh, we have just 10 minutes left. It's a
Muy
conclusion.
bien,
Yes, David?
antes de, ok, es importante antes de que te vayas, John, simplemente comentar que mañana tendríamos una reunión a las 10 de la mañana, hora de la Ciudad de México, entre nosotros 4. ¿Estás de acuerdo? Para
Yes, 10
poder
o'clock,
platicar,
yes, I will be there.
ok. Eso sería lo más importante. Yo les enviaré la invitación dentro de unos minutos y nos vemos mañana a las 10 de la mañana con John, a las 10 de la mañana, hora de la Ciudad de México.
Sí.
And before you leave too, because I know David and I need to meet, I have to resend the 4 resolutions for signature because I put David's name correctly in the top, but I did not put David's name correctly in the signature line. So you're going to see those again. And Martha has signed the bill. I've added you to QuickBooks, so I just need to know that you got in. And
Yeah, I haven't had time to, I saw the invitation. I just haven't had time to respond to it yet.
okay, so just I wanted you to know you're gonna see those four things come back through. So just to re-sign them, and then we'll meet tomorrow and we can finish
Okay.
all other business.
Yes, thank
I
you
don't-
very much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Great to have you here.
Adios.
Adios.
Adiós. Hasta luego, John.
Bye.
Muy bien, queridos amigos. No sé si tengan alguna pregunta. Yo también pienso abandonar la reunión ya. Así que me gustaría saber si hay algo adicional.
Sí, envíame el link del video. Por favor.
¿De cuál video, Juan?
De este.
Ah, siempre se los envío. Cada semana,
Ok.
claro que sí.
Sí, sí, pero lo más breve, en la brevedad posible.
Ok, en cuanto
Para
me
poder
llegue,
para poderlo trabajar.
en cuanto me llegue lo voy a enviar.
Ok, gracias, David.
All right, and then David, you and I are staying. We have a few things to discuss. I have
Chao.
things yeah. Thanks, Juan.
Vaya,
Mi hermano.
se nos fue corriendo. Mañana, Cona, vamos a tener una reunión importante. Y creo que en esta reunión de mañana podemos elaborar la agenda que tenemos pendiente. Yo he anotado algunos puntos importantes que quiero compartir informalmente el día de mañana para que entre los 4 podamos establecer una agenda simple. Creo que hay temas trascendentes que no deberían de ventilarse en una reunión con observadores. Creo que podemos tratarlos de manera independiente y simplemente mostrar un nuevo rostro más armonioso a la mesa directiva, de la mesa directiva a los observadores. Es solamente un pensamiento. Hay algunas cosas, hay un tema importante que yo quiero compartir mañana en presencia de todos, pero por lo pronto estoy en paz y me ha costado mucho trabajo seguir la lectura de nuestras cadenas de correo electrónico. Son muy largas y tienen muchos documentos, entonces he estado traduciendo y subiendo y bajando las escaleras una y otra vez para poder entender toda la información que se ha manejado, sobre todo entre tú y Marta. Sin embargo, creo que encontraremos la manera de poder comunicarnos de una forma más ágil y más sencilla. Espero que tú estés feliz, Kona. Creo que eso es muy importante, que tú estés feliz, que tú estés plena, que tú estés en paz. Tú sabes perfectamente qué son las cosas que te producen paz. Así que deseo que tus deseos estén satisfechos.
Oh, stop recording.